Wrestling Guy. With your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee, JHawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor, Jgold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
Man, it's been a week.
Yes, the euphoria of a Mets Game 2 win today took all of us, lifted us our sails. Everything is good.
I don't know.
I'll reserve judgment on that for another inning or go. Because game one's not looking good on my end. Although that shot right there, if it falls in, kind of a bitch. Never mind.
There goes Zach. There's your baseball talk, Zach. You shove a baseball bat up your ass.
So
wow.
Zach was at Toyhio, which was nice. So got to see him for a little bit. We talked, and he's already booking his flight for February to come back to the next one. So
sweet.
It's a good time.
Did you get the newsletter?
What's the newest newsletter?
The Rubber City newest one where Zach was talking about just himself a bit. I thought it was fantastic. If anybody else gets it, it's this week's was this one was really good.
I'm assuming I should be getting it soon.
Yeah.
But I had brought him some stuff that I had bought for him. So there was some Hasbros and some this alien figure that he was wanting. So I was like, all right. I gave those to him, and he brought me my sours from Bussy's. My sour.
Are you sure it's Bussy's? Isn't it Buc-ee's?
It's Buc-ee's, but I call it Bussy's.
Oh, you just made me like double think it.
We're going to be talking about Bookie a little bit later on. You got confused.
Right.
Of course, all the guests that were there. I worked with Wardlow this time. Handled the money and stuff for him. He was really cool. Had a long discussion with him about AEW and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
He can't wait to come do our show. Yep, we've heard it before. Yep.
Yeah, also talked to Danhausen.
Nice.
Unfortunately, AEW is so strict with their crap. Like, they won't let people just do podcasts. Like, they have to have somebody listen in and stuff. It's really annoying. So
that sucks. Yeah,
there will not be a Danhausen Halloween podcast from us where we just talk about horror movies. So I tried, everybody.
How was the crowd? How was the turnout this time?
It's always light in October. Okay. But it wasn't bad. I mean, we did a lot of different things. So like we had super early bird. We did a different time entrance for regular early bird. We had guests sign later. So guests started signing at 11 instead of 10. And then some guests didn't arrive and start signing until 12. So that was kind of broke up. So like people went through the line, the autograph line multiple times. I mean, it wasn't a very big line. So like people could get through pretty easy. Everything went pretty well. I mean, there was some setup issues. We had a fight and some other stuff during setup.
Damn. How was the barbecue? Was Brock slinging barbecue?
He was. I didn't get to have mine until I got home, so I got it at probably, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but I didn't actually get to eat it till like 6 o'clock that evening. But it was still delicious. I had pulled pork and mac and cheese because that's all that was left.
The smoked mac and cheese,
the chicken, so
the smoked mac and cheese, right?
Yeah,
it's fucking awesome. Yeah.
So I had that. It was delicious. Good news for you. I've heard rumors that he is going to be at Hell on Earth slanging that barbecue. So
let's go.
Hopefully we'll be getting some barbecue from Brock at Hell on Earth while we're watching the Beast Mortos wrestle. How about that?
Yeah. And Dijak.
Dijak. No, everybody's gonna go to the bathroom during his match. Come on.
I want to see him live. He's a big, good-looking dude. I'd like to see his stuff. I liked him back in the day when he used to go up against Keith Lee and Ring of Honor.
That's the only match he could have a good match with is Keith Lee. And if Keith Lee ain't gonna be there to have that match with him, I don't care about him.
Come on, if you take a bathroom break during a Dijak match, you're gonna ratio you. You can't have that.
Put Dijak and Derek. How's that? I'd like to see that.
I mean, if that's what you want to see, I guess.
I'd like to see Mortos versus Derek. Two just meaty dudes just throwing each other around. It's great.
But you have a hard on for Derek, so that's not really fair to anybody else.
I like to see him succeed. He's our buddy, and I like him very much. So,
I would like to see him defend his fucking title that he's had for 6 months now. I'm about to just appoint Ziggy to be our commissioner, and she can strip him of it.
I was going to say, take it up with the guy who's holding that belt.
I talked to Pedro about it. I told Pedro, I was like, "Can I make you the commissioner and you can strip him?" And he's like, "I don't want to be a commissioner." He's like, "I'll be your ring announcer, but I won't be your commissioner." So
the IW Guide ring announcer. That's pretty good. You go somewhere for just one. We sponsor one match, and you bring Pedro with you.
Start bringing my own referees and ring announcers and the whole setup just for my one match.
Yep, I like it.
I mean, you put on a referee now anyway, but
you do have your own.
I don't have plans to book you for that show.
Well, but I'm title matching though.
Okay, for title matches.
Yeah, he does it for free. I've heard he gives you the brother rate. So
I give him the brother rate. He drive me to the show. We can pay tram.
He's a very expensive referee, but I love him. So
yeah. Oh man. So what else went on? So I just watched the movie Trap the other day, and it was not good. It was just kind of there. I'm doing that M. Night Shyamalan thing. It's fine, but it wasn't great. But the new episode of The Penguin was really good. So I get that.
It did not keep my attention. I quit paying attention like halfway through.
Damn. I
don't care about her. I want the show is called The Penguin. Why do I need to learn about this character? We're not getting another season, so like just focus on Penguin and do what you're going to do.
Right. I get it. Limited season. Okay.
But what about was good this week? I mean, that was good.
Yeah, I have to watch that show. I have to ask you, by the way, did anybody watch the Violence is Forever FTR match?
You couldn't watch it. It's not available till next weekend.
Oh, I didn't know they didn't stream live?
No.
Oh, I didn't realize they don't stream live. Okay.
You know how I knew that? Because Kylie Ray said that she was very upset that she couldn't watch that match until next weekend. So that's how I found out that it wasn't streaming live.
I'm with her on that. I wanted to see that in all its glory, but we'll have to wait till next week.
Well, like I said, I was very happy, but at the same time, I was very bummed that I couldn't be there live to see it. I mean, I thought
it was going to be in White Eagle. I thought I was getting that match in November.
I was hoping because we would have made the trip for that. Like Stacey and I were talking about it. Like we were, if that comes up, we were going to make the trip. Like we were going to do it just like we did with North Dakota with Minoru Suzuki. Like we were going to do it. Another road trip for Dom, but.
I would have made the trip to North Carolina with enough notice, but 24 hours notice.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it just, 24-hour notice, just you couldn't just swing it. Yeah.
I mean, I get why you only had 24 hours notice, but at the same time, like that, a lot of money that got left off the table.
Right. Yeah. Well, you never know. They might come back and do something else. I mean, I've heard some things, so you never know what could happen as far as like what the finish of the match was. So, always room on the table for them to do it again. Yeah, I got the hiccups or something going on today. So
I got to spend my birthday at a friend's wedding.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. Happy birthday, JHawk. How was it?
Wedding was fine with a nice, short, little simple ceremony. It's a regular wedding, so we had a former promoter actually as the minister doing all that. And he threw a bunch of wrestling references into like the 5-minute ceremony.
Oh, look at you going to wrestlers' weddings and whatnot.
But I'm doing my mingling beforehand. And I say hi to a friend of mine, and he looked over at my wife and go, "Good to see you again, Lika." My wife's name's not Lika. I just kind of looked at him like, "What the fuck, dude?" I was more angry than she was, which is the amazing thing. It was like,
they all look the same after a while.
Oh, you don't do that.
But it was fun, especially the open bar. Took full advantage of that open bar.
Good for you. That's good. I don't have anything other fun stuff this week. I played golf. I hit a 65-yard chip in for an eagle, in case anybody cares.
Hey, Josh, are you watching Raw?
Yes.
So they're the War Raiders again?
Yes, they're the War Raiders. They're back. They just wrestled. I didn't want to bring it up because JHawk always goes, "Nobody's fucking watching Raw."
At least I do. I say that.
Yeah, the War Raiders are back. Looking all War Raidery.
I would probably have Raw on if it wasn't the baseball playoffs.
Yeah, for you. I honestly, it's better for me that I don't watch the games. It's so stressful. I put them on. I watch every 3 innings. It's just too hard.
Dude, 1:00 rolled around yesterday, and instead of putting football on, I just streamed Kingdom Hearts for 6 hours on Twitch, and my blood pressure had not been that low on a Sunday in 2 months.
I know. I had nothing until the nighttime for the Mets. Otherwise, I had the Jets today. The Rangers are on today. It's just a whole to do.
More of that
I will
baseball
probably
talk.
watch. I'll probably watch it around this week because the first time they're home, everybody figured out that Deshaun Watson is really screwing the franchise over. And in all honesty, if they're not forced to bench Deshaun Watson at halftime, if they're fearing a riot, I'm going to be very disappointed in Cleveland fan.
Fearing a riot. Come on.
Have you been to a Cleveland Brown game
No,
when everybody's
no.
been drinking from 7 o'clock in the fucking morning?
No, I have not. But I
They
have
don't
been...
put up with. They're not going to put up with that shit, especially now that the can lost cause.
Yeah. JHawk throwing chairs around. It's right up my alley.
I'm not going to the game. I'm not giving them my fucking money. Fuck them.
So,
When that kind of a bitch off my team, they'll start getting my money again.
Butters, didn't we have something we wanted to do?
we do have something to talk about that's
Right.
not baseball or football related.
Right. What is that?
Brad Gilmore on Twitter decided to post his Texas Mount Rushmore of wrestling, and it had The Undertaker, Booker T, Shawn Michaels, and Steve Austin on it.
Who's Brad Gilmore? Who is he?
He is, I looked him up. He's like a marketing guy or something.
Oh, so his opinion is meaningless.
Okay, so here's my question. Are we talking about wrestlers who are from Texas or wrestlers who made their name in Texas?
From Texas. Those guys all are from Texas. It's not like
He's
Stone
an
Cold.
ESPN radio host
Oh, is he?
based out of Houston.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, when I think of Texas wrestling, as great as Shawn Michaels was, I don't think of him when I think of Texas wrestling.
No,
Booker T,
you
I
would never
definitely don't think of when I think
Nope.
of Texas wrestling.
him either. You can't be in a tag team called Harlem Heat for your entire career and expect people to associate you with Texas wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, you really think Booker T running global was like the hottest shit ever? you can't consider Booker T a Texas wrestler even though he's from Texas. I'm sorry. I get he's from Houston.
Right.
Born
There's got to
and
be a
raised,
context. Right. There's
I
got to
have
be a
one
context.
name. I have
All right, go
one
ahead.
name
Yeah.
that if it's not on there, it's not legit. That name
Terry Funk.
is Terry Funk.
There you go. All right. Yeah. So we'll start off with Terry Funk, and the three of us agree on that.
Yes.
I know that people are like, well, you're going to put in it can't be any Von Erich. It has to be Fritz because he created the whole monster that is the Von Erichs. So it can't be Kerry. He was good and all. Kevin, good and all. It can't be David. Like they're good, but they weren't the superstars. Like Fritz created that whole thing. Like, I don't know. It'd have to be Funk, Fritz Von Erich. Probably the Undertaker. It would definitely. I mean, why not? What's your head shake?
I'll agree with you on Fritz. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got two other names that I think
Alley
have
Cat.
to be on there before. I got more than two names actually, but I got two names that I feel like are definitive. They have to be there. Dan Hansen.
Oh fuck! You're right. Yes. Yep.
Dan Hansen's got to be on that list.
Yep.
I think you got to put Dusty Rhodes on that list if we're talking record from Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I think you're right. Then that's got to be
I
it.
personally put Gary Hart on that because not only did he manage, he also wrestled in the Amarillo territory as gay Gary Hart, even though he didn't want to do that because he didn't want to down talk basically people that were gay. He thought that it was offensive.
Interesting.
I'm going to argue with you on that pick just for the whole reason that Gary Hart was from Chicago. He wasn't from Texas, but he was there in that area for so long. I can make the you making the argument.
That's why
for
I'm
it.
making the argument. He also was in the booking office in Dallas and in all these other places and had a hand in the Von Erichs and the Freebirds and all of that. That was all Gary Hart. Gary Hart, just a legendary person all around. I mean, just like I said, like if you look at him not only being a wrestler, but a manager and a booking agent, he did a lot of shit in Texas, multiple times, in fact, with the Dallas territory. So like to me, when I think of Dallas wrestling and world-class championship wrestling, I think of Gary Hart.
But it definitely, I think that's a really good one, and I think that could be definitely a fourth. But I'm saying we're definitely in agreement that Stan Hansen should be on there, right?
I think so. That's a solid fourth for to me, or third to me. That's,
Yeah. And now if you're looking at guys that strictly worked Texas, that actually kind of eliminates Dusty, that kind of eliminates Hansen. They really didn't work the area that often. But you still got guys like Gino Hernandez you could throw on there.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, I forgot about
you could
him.
throw on there.
Dude, people kept throwing Eddie Guerrero in there constantly, and I'm just like, he didn't work enough in Texas, really. Like, you could put like Hector
Chavo Senior in
or
there.
Chavo Senior,
yeah, Gory Guerrero in there.
Gory.
But then you're just changing the parameters. Is it they work Texas or they're from Texas?
We're doing it as from Texas, but I'm throwing that caveat in. Even if you're talking about people who work Texas, then you have to change it up.
To me, I would say work Texas. I think people that work Texas, you can be from and work it and be on there, but I think that it needs to be people that really worked it, that like really made a name in Texas. And yeah, there's probably 10 names you could put on that list, but it's your personal Mount Rushmore of who you think should be on there. And I'll agree with, if you want to put Dusty on there or Stan Hansen, I can agree with that. Even if they didn't work it a bunch, they still,
What about that?
If we're doing work Texas, then I will agree with you on the Gary Hart pick there. And then I would throw in a fourth of work Texas. Even though he was more of a promoter, no more for promoting, I'd have to think Paul Bosch would have to be on there then.
Potentially,
Houston promoter. He wrestled a lot down there. So,
these are names that these people that want to put, the Eddies, the Takers, the Shawns, the Stone Colds have no fucking clue who they are because they don't know the history of Texas wrestling. That's why this guy is like, this is a very, very
ESPN-y.
Trash WWE whitewashed history take on it, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
so even kind of analyzing those names that were mentioned again, Booker T, 2 years in Global. Okay, he was a rookie basically. You got Undertaker, record in Dallas World Class proper, maybe a year. Austin would probably be the only name I could argue just because he was like the lone bright spot in Dallas in 1991 before he went to WCW. But even Shawn Michaels, I think he worked in San Antonio for 6 months and he was mid-south and then worked everywhere else. Like he wasn't there.
Stone Cold wrestled in World Class, right?
I think it already changed the name to USWA, but he wrestled like his first 2 year career. He was wrestling in the Sportatorium.
Huh.
Actually won PWI Rookie of the Year in 1990, just working the Sportatorium basically. He was that good that early.
This was an interesting list because people kind of went bonkers. They literally went bonkers during the day. But yeah, that was that's interesting. I think I really do like Dusty for it. I like Stan Hansen and I like Terry Funk. That fourth slot could be anybody, but if you put Fritz there, then I'm comfortable with that four for me.
Jgold trying to put fucking Undertaker on there. Jeez.
No, I was just talking out loud. This is how we have conversations.
Taker with his fourth name until we named like 8 names that go in above him. And, oh yeah, you're right.
Well, my brain is not the best, JHawk. It has to be activated a lot of the time. It lay dormant.
You've had how many days to think on this, Josh?
Even if I thought about it for 4 straight days, I still wouldn't remember because my brain it just doesn't work. So anyway,
it's IW Guide.
Hello, I'm Stan Hansen.
I'm Gary Hart.
I'm Mike Von Erich. I'm on the weak link of the podcast.
Mike, poor Mike Von Erich.
Or to some, you're Jim Cornette because I put up
I
your
thought my picture
Halloween.
was good too. Did you see mine, Butters?
I did not.
Yeah, I responded to it.
Yeah, he put a picture of himself up at The Rock from like 25 years ago.
Boy.
1999, baby.
Look at that goatee. Holy shit.
There was, I don't even know if you consider it a goatee. It was just this thing that sat on my chin. It didn't connect or anything.
There was probably like birds that lived in it.
And you can't see because of the photo, but I used to dye the top of my hair orange. And it just wasn't, I don't know if at that point I was letting it grow in a bit, but I did the whole, that was my whole 90s. I think I had a puka shell necklace on in that picture too.
Yes. That's what I have a picture of myself with like the silk shirt. It's like a gold and yellow silk shirt and the track pants. And I got my eyebrow raised with sunglasses on.
Nice.
I don't know where it's at, but there's definitely a picture out there somewhere. Some family member or family friend has a photo of me like that.
I like that. That's a good picture.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Shout outs to Zach and Andrew. Thanks, boys. And also big shout out to Patty.
Hey, Patty. Shout out. Patty rules. Patty liked my photo of me as The Rock. So you see, she's down with the social media as always.
We need a Patty rules t-shirt.
Yeah, we should add some stuff. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I'm trying to get a new logo going for our new show we're going to start. Jgold and I are going to once a week review one episode of Heels that is now available on Netflix. And for the finale, we might have a guest from the show on. How about that?
Yeah. So it's going somewhere. We got a whole idea going. So
16 episodes, so 16 weeks.
that'll be something. That's like when we used to do go for broke.
Yeah.
When we used to do weekly go for
But
broke
it'll be
pods.
like a quick, 20, 30-minute thing. We'll just talk about the episode, stuff that we liked, maybe play some quotes or clips from it. Hopefully, I'm trying to get everybody that I know to watch the show, even if they've seen it before when it originally aired on Stars, to watch it now and talk about it on Twitter and everything, so that Netflix picks it up for another season.
I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get it. I think Stephen Amell. I think it's good high thinking, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. That some shows I think are just dead where they are, and that's that.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
still a little
see.
salty. Glow didn't get that last season they were promised, but
One of the producers is Mike O'Malley, and he is definitely a bright spot on that. Like, I went and looking because I know they have a pro wrestling tees store, and they have his character has a shirt on there. I'm fucking buying it. And also Chris Bauer, who plays Wild Bill Hancock, has a shirt on there too. And I'm going to buy that too because he's a really great character on that show. So I'm like I said, I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm going to try my best to make it happen, because I was on the original, the original bandwagon for Heels when it first came out. Like, it's so cheesy and goofy, but it's so fun and so good. Like, I really, really enjoy that show. It might be one of my shows I watch every year when it, take a little bit of time and watch it once a year. Yeah, it's a good show, man. It's really fun. I really like it. And like the way they treat wrestling is kind of silly, but like they try to do it serious, but like their ideas of like leagues and like different stuff like that for how indies and how the big times work. It's really funny, but it's TV. So it's not going to be real to life. And then it's just, once you kind of get past that, it's just really fun. It's a fun time. So Heels on Netflix, go watch it. Hopefully we can get enough streams that they decide to do another season. And that podcast will be coming soon. We're getting some stuff together to make it happen. Hopefully that'll debut probably by like the beginning of November. So
Excellent.
Also, I guess I should mention this before we get into it, even though it's a plug, but I might as well just mention it now at the start. I'll mention it again in plugs. This Thursday, I will be on the Wrestling Junkies podcast on
cool.
YouTube. So I believe it's going to be at like 7:00 or so that it airs. I'm not 100% sure how they do it, or if they like record then and then put it out later. I'm not sure. But I'll be on that this week, talking wrestling. So
that's pretty awesome. Where do they do their show out of?
I have no idea.
Oh, I didn't know if you knew, like, if you were friendly with them from the area or anything like that.
No, well, they do stuff in the area. Like I met them like through Will. Will kind of put us in contact together, and they're also part of like a wrestling network that I'm trying to like hook up with to kind of boost our listenership.
Sure.
So this is step one, is kind of get out there and get my name out there and convince people to come listen to us on a regular basis, which we're getting new people to download, because like when you like start listening to us through like iTunes and stuff, it downloads the whole back catalog of our stuff. So far, Ohio and somebody from California have downloaded the backlog of stuff. I'm going to say that the new person from California is probably Mike O'Malley, who plays Charlie Gully on Heels. And he's going to be a big fan of Charly Butters, and I'm going to appear in season 3 of Heels is what I'm aiming for now.
Big Charly Butters fans. Go figure.
Yeah.
They're out there. I know
he does this can of fuck you speech that is probably one of my all-time favorites. Like, if you watched Entourage and how like Ari would handle people, and like some of his like infamous speeches when he would get pissed off and just finally explode, this was a Charlie Gully style fuck you speech, and it was epic, and I love it so much. And it made me love his character a ton. Like, his character is supposed to be like kind of like the the bad guy of the series, but I really like his character.
Nice. I'll have to watch it and then we'll do it together. I got to figure that out.
Yeah, since you'll be a newbie, we'll do one episode a week, and then like I've watched it multiple times. This will be your first watch of it, so it'll be fun to kind of get your view on it from from the first time. So
how many seasons are there? Two,
and there's 8 episodes in each season.
Okay, and CM Punk is in it.
He's in it towards the end of the first season, and then some of the second season.
Okay, I'm in. All right, I'll watch it.
Don't tell that to a bunch of AEW fans. Don't ever watch it.
Well, they already tried to come at us because of Danhausen, so fuck them.
Oh.
Anyway, let's see what's on this week, guys.
What's on this weekend?
Sure, Friday night, October 18th at 7:30 Eastern, we got Action Wrestling presents Manders versus Flacco 2. So for the Action World Championship, Manders versus Bobby Flacco. So check that out. Jameson Shook versus Shook D. Alex Kane versus Jaden Newman. Is that this? What are they called? Suplex something or other? Are they like
Suplex
separating?
Assassin, man.
Yeah. And then the 2 out of 3 falls, Darian Bengston versus Alexander Lev. And that is 3 days away, according to now, but it'll be a day when you listen to this.
Okay, over in Massachusetts this week, it's going to be on Sunday, October 20th, 5 p.m. Eastern. Fight Life presents Squared Circle Chaos 3, the Hillside Country Club in, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Rehoboth, Massachusetts. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I apologize. I've literally never heard of it before.
Rehoboth, like Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Rehoboth. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. That's what I'm here for.
Okay. Just some of the matches on that card. We've got an I Quit match with DJ Power against Eric Cha-Cha. The Fight Life Tag Team Championship on the line, Waves and Curl against the Unit. And the Fight Life World Championship on the line, Richard Holiday against Alec Price.
Damn. That's cool.
Oh. And that will be airing on Triller TV for those of you looking to watch that live.
Cool.
All right, well, I guess it's review time.
Let's do it.
Doing a review.
Okay, and this time we are reviewing Stacks Smackdown 3, which took place in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania at Steel Stack on October 5th, 2024. Aired live on independentwrestling.tv with your commentary team of Diamond Joe Leonard and Ian Riccaboni. Can't say enough good things about them. Of course, Diamond Joe Leonard, friend of the show. Ian Riccaboni, just awesome.
Diamond Joe. It's been a long time since I've heard that man.
Yeah, and he hasn't missed a beat. Sounds really good. Was very excited. As I said, the LVAC. We said this before. They are a cult, and they have their stuff as far as what they like to do, and it's very, to me, it feels very almost like a Chikara nostalgia, which is, it probably that's probably what they're going for anyway. But it is. I had a question for both you guys. There's a lot of Chikara guys in here. Quackenbush didn't own those names or anything like that?
I would assume not. I don't know how Quackenbush would have had the money to own the name, for being honest.
Well, but that's what I was saying. Like because people have said like he could give the gimmick to anybody. He didn't own it then. So the guys who are all those guys always all kept their own. Even like the Ants, everybody, they're allowed to just keep whatever.
I mean, most of the Ants didn't keep the name, but I mean, they could have, I guess.
Okay.
So we open with a trio match. We've got the colony of Electro Ant, Ultimo Ant, and Worker Ant against the Lost Boys of Ethan Thomas, Miles Penn, and Ryan Riz. And important to note here that all tag matches and trio matches, etc., are lucha rules in L-Vac.
The colony's always fun. Seeing Worker Ant is very, very nostalgic, as I said before. I don't know a lot about Electro and the other one, but they work together well, and it's funny how you can find so many different Ant gimmicks, but I liked Worker Ant. I've always liked Worker Ant. He was like the stout one of the group. It's good. I don't know anything about those Lost Boys. I've never seen them anywhere else.
I think we've seen them at 880. I want to say.
Really?
Yeah. At least the name. Some of them, because I remember Junie Underwood kind of coming out of there.
He was an ant? Oh no, I mean he was a Lost Boy.
Jesus. These ants eat well. These ants definitely eat well. They were some chunky ants. But they hit lots of triple team moves, and both teams did, and I really enjoyed like the Superman into the corner, and the ants hit a bunch of crazy stuff. This was really fun. This is, like I said, this is probably my match of the night. I really like this trio. I like trios matches, and it definitely gave me the Chikara nostalgia. And I
Their
like the
fans
whole.
eat it up.
I like the colony as like a gimmick. Like I would, if I had a company, I would make my own colony out here, and like just of different ants. I think it'd be fun just to have like an ant colony, or like maybe I do like a roach colony since it'd be in Warren.
But they, the fans there eat it all up. That girl who dresses like a clown was in the front. There's a bunch of folks who I probably have recognized, but they really make it like a family, like not only family like kids and all their work kids, but like they're one big family, the L-Vac. They really are. They're like everybody seems to play off each other. Everybody has their own thing. Diamond Joe's got his thing with each one of those guys. You know, Ian is there. I mean, it's all very connected, so to speak.
Jgold, have you ever seen the way you look in the mirror? Like you say this girl dresses like a clown. You dress like a clown when you go to wrestling. I've seen the way you dress when you go to wrestling. You dress like a clown.
Yeah, but she literally dresses like a clown. Like she's a clown girl.
I didn't say she was a clown. This. I don't believe this. I think you're full of it.
That's not what I meant.
There's no Pennywise clown at Steel Stacks. I don't believe you. I think you're just trying to make fun of somebody's fashion sense.
No, I'm not. Watch it again.
Who probably has better fashion sense than you.
That is uncalled for. Watch it again. There's a clown girl in the crowd. Yes. Anyway, JHawk, what happened?
My monitor kept going out. I didn't see that. In the end, the Lost Boy did get the pin. They pinned Ultimo and after a double stomp relation match, it is Myung-Jae Lee against Judy Underwood, and the loser must buy the winner an ice cream cone. And the crowd cared more about the ice cream cone than they did about the match, and the match was damn good. So I kind of felt bad for these two guys.
I was going to say classic L-Vac crowd. You hear the stipulation. Of course, it's something ridiculous like ice cream, and the crowd just wanted it. They wanted to know how it was going to end.
And this led to an extended discourse from Diamond Joe and Ian Riccaboni about ice cream and Chikara.
I could listen to those guys talk all day long about that stuff.
Yeah, fun little match here, though. I did like this match a lot.
What's your favorite type of ice cream, Jgold?
Peanut butter chocolate.
Jared?
Mine can vary depending on my mood, but if you put a gun to my head right now, I'd probably say Rocky Road.
Rocky Road?
Rocky Road, all right.
I'd say maybe Moose Tracks would be mine.
Very good one.
Right now, if I'm thinking about it.
But like then there's the chocolate peanut butter has an order. Like I would do Haagen-Dazs first, and I would do Baskin Robbins second, because those are the two best by far.
You're too deep into the fucking plot, man. You're losing it.
I may or may not have taken something before the show started. So if I'm going off on a tangent.
The Dollar General by my house, Kit Kat ice cream. That's really freaking good.
Yeah. All the Dollar General's ice cream is fucking old as shit, though. You gotta watch. Dude, I've been watching so many fucking Dave Portnoy fucking pizza reviews. It's insane.
They're great. I could watch those all day. I want to go. I've tried a lot of them in the New York area, and they're all really good.
Dude, how about the one I watched today? Literally before we started recording, I guessed the correct
you could just tell now, right, from his looks. Yeah, you could tell from how he eats
between that and the flop on the pizza and the undercarriage, I knew exactly what he was going to give, and I was fucking dead on. I was like, oh Jesus, I need to stop watching these if I could fucking know exactly what he's going to give him before he gives them.
Well, my problem is like there was a place that when I lived in Raritan, there's only like a few pizzas he gave 9 and up from. And when I lived in Raritan, New Jersey, there's a place and he gave it a 9.3. And I lived across the street from it. I used to eat it all the time. And I couldn't stand New Jersey pizza because of being from New York. I just think there's something different about it. But people now go there. It's like a 6-week waiting list to get a pizza because of that. It's fucking insane.
Yep.
Anyway, what's next, JHawk?
Myung-Jae Lee got the win, and we never did find out what flavor ice cream he was going to get.
Oh, he said cotton candy.
Did he say cotton candy?
Yeah. He came back out, took the mic, and then he said, I like cotton candy.
Now, at this point, we actually get the ring announcer pushing the concussion stand and talking about the vegan option. And every time he mentioned the vegan option, the crowd booed. It's like, what the fuck, people?
Was that Gavin Loudspeaker, the announcer? I think it was. He's a Chikara announcer.
Yeah, I didn't hear them say the name of the ring announcer. If they cut it, I didn't catch it. No.
Well, if you played Block and Fido, the Chikara game for the iPhone, you would know that was Gavin Loudspeaker. Anyway, yeah. What's next?
Well, from there, we have tag team action. We've got Landon Hale and Channing Tomic, accompanied by the Hall of Famer himself, Kenny Bacabella, taking on the creature of the deep, King Crab and Murloc.
It's a great
I have
gimmick, by the
interacted
way.
with Kenny Bacabella way too much on Twitter over the last few months. Yeah, he's starting to grow on me to kind of care of me a little bit.
Oh,
He's
I love
fantastic.
Sidney Bacabella. Did you ever watch when they do the life of when they did the April Fool's one and it was of him and he was like backstage and he pulled out like a fucking gun on people and shit? It was amazing. I love him so much. Like him doing like that old school like what he does is just fucking amazing. I love Sidney Bacabella.
He got wheeled out to the music when they announced you for the Hall of Fame. Like
Yeah,
that was the,
yeah.
I mean, it was so good. He's so smart. Like I saw him at the Reel and Rumble during COVID when they did that, and he gave my kid some shit. He just never breaks character. He just keeps giving people shit, acting that way. It's JHawk, do you know anything about him, like where he trained or anything? Is he a Chikara guy?
That would be a Diamond Joe Leonard question. I'm not that familiar with him prior to about a year or two ago myself.
Yeah, I'm really regretting not having Diamond Joe on the show this week to answer all your questions, Jgold.
Oh, yeah, I would have liked to have known some of these things.
Yeah, I mean, what I do know is that he originally from the Boston area.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, Josh. You go ahead and contact him, Diamond Joe.
Uh-huh.
Tell him we want him on the show next week,
right, I'll see
and
what I can
we'll do like a interview with him. How about that?
Oh, I would love that. I wonder if if he has the time. I
If he
want
has the time,
know.
see if he has the time. We'll have him on next week. We'll talk all about this show, and you can ask him all the questions, and then we could talk about a bunch of other stuff.
Well, they do a lot of things right at L-Vac, and Sidney Bacabella is always one of them. So
Okay, I actually pulled up Kenny Bacabella's cage match just for the hell of it, and come matching underneath a different name. But I'm looking at his very first match, a cage match list, and it's Joey Eastman, aka Kenny Bacabella, defeating Carmine DeSpirito. I know that name probably means nothing to the two of you, but I'm popping huge for that. But Carmine's a friend of mine, and I fucking love the fact that match is good.
how long ago was that?
2006.
Wow. Well,
Kenny Bacabella put a picture on Twitter the other day of Judo Gene LaBelle, and I actually had a legitimate Gene LaBelle story to tell. Because I'm getting along too well with him at this point.
well, his whole thing, everything he does works in that ring, and the fans just love to boo him, and he likes giving it to him. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, we actually at one spot where Diamond Joe talked about not hooking a leg on a cover, and Ian Riccaboni actually explained the strategy behind not hooking the leg, which is actually very interesting. Basically, you don't hook the leg, but you want to see how much energy they've got left in them at that point. Okay, I can buy it.
That is interesting. Huh.
In the end, we get the referee getting distracted. Kenny Bacabella hand Channing Thomas and brass knuckle. He hit King Crab in the back of the head with him and gets the pin.
Kind of sloppily hits him in the back of the head. That's my only concern there.
And then we get more tag team action. We've got the awakening of Vita Von Star and Harleen Lopez taking on Little Mean Kathleen and CPA. CPA coming in as a last-minute replacement.
Which is awesome because I like seeing CPA in this kind of match kind of shines. He just shines. And the people pop big for when he took off his shirt and he had the other shirt. And him and Little Mean Kathleen have really good chemistry.
Yeah, we got the deal where they grabbed his tie and pulled it off, not realizing it was a clip-on.
Man,
Which led to an IRF reference from Ian Riccaboni. Oh, yeah, IRS should have thought of that.
do you think that CPA spends a lot of time, his free time, sewing buttons on them shirts because he has to rip them off all the time, or do you think he just gets new ones?
Okay, so I know he does not, and I know for real the story of CPA and his buttons. From my understanding, is that he does not buy new shirts. He has a friend who sews buttons back on for each show. He just rotates them, sews the buttons back on. For real. That's not me trying to mess with JHawk because his face right now, he looks perplexed. He literally has a person. He literally has a person who sews his buttons back on. So, and he's not going to buy all new shirts all the time. It just doesn't make sense. So he has them put back on.
I figured it didn't make sense, but I didn't know that Jgold was actually going to come out with the correct fucking answer or know something for once on this podcast. I'm fucking stunned right now. But thank you for answering me, because I thought about that while I was watching him fight with the one button on his shirt. I was like, just rip the fucking thing off. You always have new buttons on these things. Like,
Yep.
every
Same
fucking
shirts.
time, man. Like, you got to have either you're really good at sewing buttons on shirts, or you got somebody that does it for you.
He
'Cause
certainly
damn.
does. He does. Good. And there's your tidbit from Jgold for the week. So
For
drink
a
it in,
fucking
people.
year. That'll be the
Yep.
one time he knows something.
Oh shit. What's next?
We do get the Awakening getting the win there. We go to more tag team action. There are a lot of tag team action on the card. But we
It's like
get
Vita,
the
by the way-
reverse of SummerSlam.
yes.
Have you guys seen Vita Von Star at anything else recently, or did she only do this like kind of intermittently?
I'm trying to think of the last time I'm trying to think of the last time I saw her. It wasn't dreadfully long ago, but it wasn't like super recent either.
Yeah, I don't mean anything official, but can you guys remember ever seeing her in all the shows we've watched in the last like year or two? Because I don't.
Mm-mm.
Interesting. She's just another one of those L-Vac people. They get like the crew.
She's been working plaking, but a lot of plaking she's been working don't stream. No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but another tag team match though. We've got Lucky 13 and Avery Good taking on Effie and Alley Catch Bookie.
I can't believe Avery Good is wrestling again. I thought he retired.
Yeah, and it was a whole to do. Remember?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he did. Diamond Joe on commentary that he don't consider himself retired. That was more like a pickup game of basketball for him. Talked about how disrespectful that was to Bookie, and how potentially disrespectful to Lucky 13 as well, because not only did Lucky 13 want to be a partner, but they've been friends in high school.
I love Lucky 13. He's like one of my favorite people, but I like 3 people out of 4 in this match. 3 out of 4, great. I was super excited to see, and there's nothing better than seeing Avery Good's the best intro. It is just, it just wears you down.
It wears you down, and then you hate it, and then you like it again.
Right.
And then you hate it again, and then you like it again.
Even at one point, I saw Lucky 13's face, and he was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" Like he was ready to just be like, "All right." Oh,
yeah, but I mean, if you've seen a Bookie tag team match, you get a lot of the usual stuff there. They're in a spot where Alley catching on her knee in front of Avery Good, acting like she's going to do something in particular, and Lucky 13 is like waving at Avery Good because his wife's in the front row and she pissed.
yeah. I thought I think that's stupid. It's not that might work like in GCW, but I think it's stupid at L-Vac.
It worked here because his wife's in the crowd and you can play off of that.
Yeah, he like went over and pointed to his wedding ring and was like, "Oh, I'm not going to do anything."
Yeah, I think it worked. I think it worked here because they did something different with it.
Yeah, I liked it. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked, for what it was. Now, ironically, Bussy has since broken up. So
yeah, they had broken up, and then there was some like crazy shit that went on in GCW this weekend where Joey Janela was basically lit on fire and talked about bringing back the hardcore of GCW, and then Alley Catch comes out of nowhere and starts yelling about what an asshole Effie was. Yeah, it was just shit was just going down.
So I would like to point out that in our GCW review, I mentioned how electric bats are fucking awesome. And this GCW show, they use them multiple times.
Yeah.
Thank you to whoever listened to our show and decided that they're going to do them in GCW because they are fucking awesome. And of course, they were used by Alley Catch and by Matthew Justice got it used on him.
Hit in the back, and he went through all these tables. That was a crazy looking spot.
So, I mean, I fucking love the electric bats. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. They're
and
fucking
Joey
sweet.
Janela literally got lit on fire, and like his arms and back was all burnt up. Like that was a
he
lot
had to go
of
to
fire.
a special burn unit. Yeah,
dude, that was a lot of fire.
Dude, you fuck
like,
with
that
fire,
sounds like
man.
the classic.
You fuck with fire. It's shit happens, man.
The other problem is the ref didn't have any water. There was no way to put him out except by like slapping at him. So that's on them as well.
It's like an XPW when that dude got his fucking face set on fire. That was hilarious.
That's hilarious. Seeing somebody get their face.
I'm not saying
that
that Joey Janela getting set on fire and getting hurt was hilarious. I'm just saying how underwhelmingly unprepared they were.
Right.
Is hilarious because like if you're gonna do a fire spot, like have fucking water ready. What the fuck, guys?
Be ready to drench that dude with a bucket. Like that should have been
not
somebody.
I wouldn't do a fire spot if there wasn't a fire extinguisher and like a bucket of water in the ring, ready to go as soon as I went through that table. If it ain't there, I ain't fucking doing it.
I wouldn't do it even then. Like, I don't trust half the people to actually know how to freaking throw a bucket of water.
Stupid idiots.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust Jgold with that, but I trust you, JHawk.
I wouldn't light you on fire, Butters. That sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. In the end, Bookie does get the win. Alley Catch with the pile driver to Lucky 13, followed by the Cack Rider by Effie. We come back from intermission. Ian Riccaboni and the mayor of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania are in the ring. They bring out Big Dan Champion. It's Big Dan Champion Day in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Good for Dan, man. What a good dude. Like he cares about his community. He does all sorts of stuff for the area, and he comes out to Bruce Springsteen. How can people just not like Big Dan?
Oh, Ultraman is black and the Batteria apparently don't, but they come out to interrupt.
Yep. The Batteria are little fellas, aren't they? They're tiny.
Comparison to Ultraman and black, at least they are.
Yeah.
And before anything can happen, Orange Cackly, Cheeseburger, and Clara Carrera come out and kind of even out the odds. All cut up for a main event later on. Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen. You knew you were going to get some Orange Cassidy helping Big Dan or whatever it is. So I like how they stuck to the format and how they always do it. So it's all good.
And here we have another tag team match. Now with Ian Riccaboni being in the ring for the previous segment, we actually get Avery Good on commentary with Diamond Joe Leonard for this one. Rookie Jimmy and Leo Sparrow against the team of Club Soda, Jeff Cannonball and Puff, accompanied by Simon Sutherland.
Leo Sparrow, a guy who I really, really like. A creative pro guy. He's been on TV. Where was the one where he was shouting? Was it the one against Great Khali? He's been around for a long time. Or maybe it was Omos, when Omos put him up. But Leo Sparrow's a great bad guy. He has such a smug look. I like that. I thought the match was fine. I don't get anything out of Puff or Jeff Cannonball, but everybody seems to like them.
It was Omos they were talking about with that.
Yeah.
With that segment. Jeff Cannonball and Puff are just fun. That work in the L-Vac setting.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just fun. They don't take things too seriously. We got an extended conversation about with Puff wearing orange, whether he was allowed to wear orange, because only one person is allowed to wear orange. Any little name drop like that, I get a kick out of. We get a lot of comedy spots. We got the spot right at the end where Sutherland got the remote control and pausing everybody in the ring, and it was like right before the finish. I don't like this spot being that close to the finish. I mean, it worked for the audience, so I'm not upset about it, but
that's your professional nitpick.
That's my professional nitpick. I don't like the overly killy stuff at part of the finish, unless it's William Regal hitting Big Show at the brass knuckle and Big Show falling on top of him. That's still one of my favorite finishes ever.
Who was the dude with the remote control where he does the remote control?
Sutherland, Club Coda's manager.
Diamond Sutherland?
Diamond Sutherland.
Diamond Sutherland. Oh, all right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the spot is absurd, and they pulled it off really well. It's classic Chikara, L-Vac, everything. But I agree with you. The spot should have been somewhere in the beginning, shouldn't it?
Even in the middle.
Yeah.
To me, it was too close to the end. But I mean, that's not. Again, L-Vac being what it is, I'm not gonna hate on it. It's just that's a personal preference. It worked with this show, so I'm not. Yeah. It's not even really a critique. It's just a nitpick.
Yeah, I mean, the spot was done well. It's not like they shit on it or anything. It was good, and the fans ate it up, and that was fun. But you're right. But the match it is. I think it's just there for comedy anyway. There wasn't going to be a lot of wrestling, I think. So you're not getting chain wrestling out of Jeff Cannonball ever.
You're not going to get any out of Puff either.
Right. They should have wrestled each other.
With Club Soda getting the win.
Has it run its course, by the way? Has the soda review run its course?
I didn't hear you, Jgold. I'm sorry.
Has the soda review run its course? Are we done with that?
Are we done with the soda review?
Yeah. Like, is
he...
Are you tired of it?
If you want to do a discourse on Squirt, we can.
No, but does he? That's over, right? Like, there's no more like we don't worry about the soda review from Jeff Cannonball anymore, right? He kind of finished that off.
I have no idea if he still does that or not.
Yeah, that's what I have to go check his Twitter, but I think that's enough of that. But yeah, I every time those two guys, you're not getting 5 stars. You're only getting comedy at this point out of them. So yeah, it was all right.
From there, we have our semifinal match. We've got Erica Lee against Mercedes Martinez.
I didn't realize Mercedes Martinez was still still around. I haven't seen her in ages. I'm not really quite sure what she does is she ROH or no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe
So
so.
we had the conversation the last time we watched a Mercedes Martinez match.
It's probably.
We don't watch ROH, so who knows where she's at? If that's what she's in that paid black hole over there.
And well, she hasn't been in ROH since like April either, in fairness. So.
Oh, and Erica Lee is with the Outrunners, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah. So, it's good. It was a good showcase match, classic women's match. Nothing like I'd write home about, but it was good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't get to see much of this match because I'm trying to get the show finished in order to do the review today. The wife tells me you need to cook dinner, and I'm looking at the clock going, I don't know if I have time. You need to cook dinner. Shit. So I had to I had this match and the main event to go, and I couldn't skip the main event. I only caught bits and pieces at that point.
That's all right. I gave you the rundown. It was fine. It was a good women's match. The two of them wrestled just fine.
Sure, yeah. I didn't hear anybody booing while I was watching it, so I think we're good.
Right. There's no boos. There's no anything like that. People like them. They did their thing and they moved on. It was the proper match to get ready for the main event.
And Mercedes Martinez got the win by commission. And our main event is a 12-person tag team match. The Delirious, the Batiri, and the Spectral Envoy against Cheeseburger, Clara Carrera, Dan Champion, Catchpoint, and Wheeler Yuta. And Orange Cassidy going 12 people. That's too many. That's just too many. I'm like, you're like your boss could put 12 men on like the last 3 pre-show because you're getting too many people.
Okay, it's because his boss doesn't mean he can't have a dissenting opinion.
Now I'm just saying. It was just something I noticed. I'm sorry.
You think everybody's supposed to be uniform now, JHawk? Is that what we're going with this? That's what it sounds like.
I didn't say that at all. I'm surprised that somebody is giving a dissenting opinion. Apparently, in other sports, you're not allowed to do that. But
well, yeah. How many men were it? Was how many people? It was 6 on 6.
6 on 6.
Yeah, I didn't realize that catch point that Drew Gulak decides to put on his boot with the duct tape on it from Chikara days when he was in there. He had brand new boots and everything when he was at WWE. He made a lot of money. Comes out, he puts on the boots with the duct tape around it.
Going back to his roots, brother.
Yeah, I remember seeing him at National Wrestling Day for free in Easton once, and he was there with the boot, and like I just couldn't take my eye off it. I'm like, that thing's gonna tear up. Like it was almost like Tim Donst.
Except Tim Donst is entertaining.
Right.
Ooh.
You're not wrong. I completely agree with you, my friend.
Can't say that I don't like that type of wrestling. I just think that there's other people that do it good, and he just doesn't do that type of wrestling good. I'm sorry.
Someone else who does that type of wrestling better is a tag team partner, Tracy Williams. But
yeah, he's boring too.
Oh, you think he's boring?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
There's guys that do technical wrestling good. They don't. I'm not saying they don't do it good. They just don't do it entertainingly. They're not on my list of guys that I'd watch.
I'll disagree with you about Hot Clock all day, every day, but
no, it's fine. I don't say I don't like them. I just don't care about their wrestling. I think
I'm glad you said it because sometimes they definitely can be a little boring.
I think there's people that try to claim that like Zack Sabre Jr. is boring, but I don't think so. I think he does that style of wrestling really fun. I think Bryan Danielson does that wrestling very fun. So it can be done very well. I just don't think they do that style of wrestling in a fun way. They do it, but it's not fun.
Zack Sabre Jr., your new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
And Bryan Danielson had his last full-time match Sunday.
But Zack Sabre Jr., if you let him talk and stuff, has some personality and such.
Oh, like, dude, he's so fucking funny.
I think he's great. But like you give Tracy Williams or Drew Gulak a mic, you have problems. Except for when Drew Gulak was doing something else at WWE. I thought they kind of worked him good when he was like a manager as opposed to anything else.
Remember when AIW had Tracy Williams as their champion? Oh,
yes. I wasn't the first gauntlet I was at. Didn't Tracy Williams win it in 2018?
I have no idea what first gauntlet you were at and who won it. That's not something I would keep track of.
It should be. I'm your friend. You should remember.
You remember these nuts.
Well, shit.
Yeah, I don't think we knew who you were in 2018 either. But yeah, Tracy Williams did win the gauntlet in 2018.
All right, that means I remembered that show. I can't believe it. I don't remember a lot, but I think
through all the dementia he remembered.
Right. I remember the Fuckets were in that gauntlet. That was fun too. I missed the Fuckets. Those guys were fun.
The boys from Jollyville.
Right. The Fuckets were awesome. What a great, ridiculous name for a tag team. Oh man.
But I think we opened hot with the Kickman tag, and I think we ended hot with this one here. But there's a lot of action. I didn't even try to take note on most of it. There's too much going on.
Well, the all 6-on-6 like Avenger style fight at the beginning of it was really good, where they just all picked a person and started beating each other up. I thought that was fun. And then just in general, it just felt very, very Chikari, very even move sets were story driven, like Big Dan jumping off the ropes to the floor. And what's her face jumping through the ropes to the floor. And I mean, everybody had like story lockups and story stuff going on. I just thought they do those type of matches better than anybody. You're not going to get a 6-on-6 style like AEW or like GCW that makes as much sense as when L-Vac puts their guys together. That's just something they do really well.
And we get the referee getting shoved into the ring post and being out for a while. Dan Champion get the visual pin with no referee. We get a fireball that's meant for Big Dan Champion to hit Kenny Bakabella instead. I love a good fireball spot. This was not a good fireball spot, unfortunately. Like the camera was way too close to it to show that it didn't come anywhere close.
Oh,
I need a different camera angle, but
yeah.
But in the end, it is Big Dan Champion Day. Big Dan pin Call of Wicked to win the match and get everybody home happy.
But it was Dan Day. It was Dan Day in 2021 when we went to the Real Rumble and he lost, but Alf pinned him. Big Dan.
Tell Derek to throw fireball at JHawk during title match. Okay.
Oh,
I love a good fireball, but I ain't taking one.
Well, you took his elbow, the Cinemassacre elbow. So I mean, I think you should take a fireball in the next one. Just saying.
Wait, you did? You took a roaring elbow during that?
Yeah, you took a Cinemassacre elbow during the 4-way. Remember he was like dead until the end, and then he counted.
Yes, Mikey, I forgot that. I forgot that's what it was. I kept in my head, my mind was like altering it, but yes, that's that. Now I remember. Yeah. Good stuff.
So
Adam Van said something about it being in a dream journal. It was kind of weird.
Anytime anybody uses the term dream journal, I laugh. You get me every time. It's such a stupid term.
Men have journals, girls have diaries. Just remember that.
Dream journal. Yeah, but they did it. They did it perfectly. They always do. They did it perfectly.
The L-Vac shows are fun. That's why I wanted to do something light and fun this week. Nothing serious, nothing where we had to know the history of 9 different things, except Josh then pointed out we needed to know the history of 9 different things and didn't have Diamond Joe here to help us. So
but that's why I also asked JHawk. He has a very extensive wrestling knowledge that like
it's called Cage Match, dude. You could just look it up yourself.
I don't like doing that. That's too much work.
Yeah, no shit. We know this on the Discord when you ask dumb questions and then Dom Guarini has to tell you to Google it like a fucking...
Yes, but I don't want to. The reason why I'm asking the questions is to get the conversation going. I'd rather hear it from somebody who knows. I find that to be much more interesting than reading the interweb, some nameless, faceless author putting data on a page. I like to hear it out of people's mouths.
But Josh, we shouldn't have to tell you these things when you can just look it up. And then we can have a discussion about it once you know about it.
Nah, I'd like to hear it first. Then I'll make my decision whether or not I believe you or not.
Jgold making everybody a fucking teacher in the Discord to have to fucking teach him different aspects of his life.
That's right. I told you my brain is dormant. That's how it has to wake up. I need people to talk to me and give me information.
It's like the computer in Aliens. It's like 45 minutes to boot up.
That's right. It's an Apple IIc brain. You have to put the words load in, and then you can put in Magic versus Bird for one-on-one for the Apple IIc.
We know you take loads in.
Oh, shit.
Man, I just set that shit up.
Yeah, you did.
Yep. Yep.
I'm out here popping about referencing the freaking Buddy Landell on commentary. You're like, does Mike Quackenbush own the gimmick?
I had to know. It's supposed to would give us all this information. He knows everything, and he always, if I texted him right now, I could get it, and he would tell me a story because that's the right thing to do. You tell stories, tell people things. That's what we do. We're storytellers on this show.
Come on the show next week to tell you stories. You tell him specifically that, and you put that picture of that text in the group chat so we can, as proof that you actually said that to him with his response. I want to see what he says. To him?
Wait, what am I saying? Come on next week and tell me stories?
Come on the podcast next week and tell us stories.
Okay, I'll do that. Anywho, what else are we doing?
I guess we need to give this a rating, a show rating.
Okay.
I'm giving the 3.5 squirt out of 5.
Oh, that's good. I'd give it 3.5 Lowe's ice creams out of 5.
I'm gonna give it I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 colonies of ants. Yeah. How about that?
But I do think that one day we need to make a trip to one of these.
It always seems like they fall on these weird days when other stuff's going on. But I really want to go to like a Real Rumble. I would really like to go to a Steel Stack show.
You didn't get to the Real Rumble that time?
I was not there. No, I think Stacy and Pam and we all did something else instead, so we couldn't go to that.
Yeah, I know.
I think that might have been like the weekend after we went to.
No, Stacy and Pam were there because she gave Harper candy, and we were all hanging out.
Oh, that might have been another one then.
Yeah,
that might have been
the original one was the one we went to where like Ed came with Doyle, and then he set up a tent, and they all like stayed there overnight. Everybody stayed overnight. Me and Steph and Harper drove 4.5 hours to get there, and then turned around and went home after the show ended. We were so bored. We needed something to do in New York and New Jersey. It sucked. I was like, we're driving out to Real Rumble.
Yeah, I know the last couple of Real Rumble have fallen when I'd already had planned for that weekend when they finally announced the date for it. So,
but they do a lot of let's hang outs and stuff like that on like Thanksgiving Day, like weird things, right? Like it's like during Christmas.
It's hard because it's like usually not only like is it around a holiday, but it's also like on the other side of Pennsylvania. So it's 6-7 hour drive for us.
Yeah. It's like everybody they do it when everyone's home for like the holidays, and it just happens to be on that type of thing. So it's all right. We'll figure out.
One of them will line up and we'll go and we'll have a good time. So
yeah, no doubt. Yeah. All right. What are we doing? Plugs?
Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok at JHawk. Instagram, if you code a guy at JHawk1539, even though I'm not there that often. I do have a show.
Desire? Yeah.
I do have a show that's coming Saturday at Real Action Pro Wrestling. Come play with us Saturday at 6 p.m. at the Ohio Urban Renaissance Center in Youngstown, Ohio. Got the annual Halloween Costume Battle Royal, which I do plan on being a part of. You got the RAPW champion Ray Stewart defending against Sean Resnick. Social media champion Kip Page against TJ Dynamite. Club Extreme defending the tag team titles against the LA Guns. And a lot more on that card as well.
I love that they have a social media champion, but like I've never seen them on social media.
Well, I mean, some company can have TV title, don't have TV either. So
are they on like MySpace? Is that where they're spending a lot of their time over on the MySpace?
Friendster. They're over on the Friendster account.
The Friendster accounts.
Yeah.
they're in like a Discord with each other. That's it. That's the Real Action Pro Wrestling Discord. That's where they hide out at.
Yeah, well, we had a 24/7 title that got like literally like never got defended for like 6 months at one point. So
Jgold's gonna dress up as Matt Riddle for this show. Just letting everybody know.
Yeah. You know what? In my opinion, you come for the Halloween Costume Battle Royal, the rest of the wrestling component.
Sure, I agree with that. Definitely.
It's a good thing battle royals are just like throwing punches and like that's about punches and kicks, right? Because that's about the only two things that most of those guys can do correctly, and even then some of them can't do it correctly. So
oh shit.
Hey, at least it's Real Action Pro Wrestling. Hey, at least we're not Rubber City Wrestling. That's what the slogan is.
No comment there either. But
when was the last time you even worked for them? Do you even work for them anymore? I don't think you do. I think you could just shit on them.
I did the show after I almost knocked that after that lady like grabbed me by the arm. I did like one show after that, and they like got mad at me because I apparently dropped an F-bomb trying to when I finally got away from her, and I didn't realize I cut it. I'm like, well, I cut out of in that situation. You're mad at me instead of her. Like, I don't want to deal with it.
The crowd is full of barflies. They're mad because you said fuck. I love it. Fuck you, Rubber City Wrestling. You're fucking trash.
And they were like the booker wanted to fire you. We went to bat for you, and I worked that show, and I was just like, yeah, I'll eventually come back. I got I was legit booked like the next 2 shows they did, and I just never came back after that.
The booker was going to fire you for dropping an F-bomb?
Dude, the booker
Dude,
was flying in
fairness,
these 2 fat dudes from Arizona that like were nothing. He was flying 2 fat dudes from Arizona in. Like, how are you flying people in? Why? They're not names. They're nobody.
Dude, in fairness to the booker, that was one of the things in the meeting before the show is do not drop any F-bombs. So he absolutely in his right to do it if I actually can.
I
don't
point
remember
back
paying
to 95% of the people at that show came from the bar and went to the bar during intermission, and maybe came back out from the bar from intermission. Don't tell me that they don't say those things. It's not a family show. Like, there's half those people were fucking smoking and drinking at a bar, stunk and smelled like a bar the entire goddamn time. Don't tell me that it's a family show and you can't say fuck. Like, fuck off.
You know what? Okay, whatever you want to about the quality of the Rubber City Wrestling show, but they draw incredibly well for what they are.
Because you get a free ticket when you buy 2 shots at the bar.
You get a trans fee for that one too?
Yes.
Nice. They're like, we need a Hall of Fame ref, and we'll pay his trans.
Yeah, I have my rate. If it's not a benefit show, or I've worked RIPW for so long at this point, they get a rate. But like, other than that, if you can't pay my rate, I don't work your show.
Hell yeah. Listen to all you promoters out there trying to get a Hall of Fame ref for peanuts. You're not going to get it. You're going to pay.
Pack a fucking it's Otis Spunkmeyer cookies and a fucking juicy box, and that's what that's his cut rate for fucking real action. That's about all they can afford.
Otis
fucking taking it out of their kids' fucking lunchbox to pay him.
I will not give away my rate, but I get paid money at REPW.
Real money, baby. Cash money.
What's the conversion of that money to Stanley Nichols?
Fuck. Oh my God.
All right.
It's better than that company that tried to pay me with a pika one day and couldn't figure out why it wouldn't work their next fucking show.
A piece
that
of
happened
pizza.
Once.
Oh, that's outstanding.
Like I said before, I'll be on the Wrestling Junkies podcast. This episode is already out on Thursday, so it'll be tonight on the Wrestling Junkies podcast that I am appearing. Check out Neo Pro Wrestling October 25th, which is a Friday. Doors at 6, the bell at 7 p.m. at Quaker Hall, 1688 South Lincoln Avenue in Salem, Ohio. neoprotix.com for tickets. I think they still have some ringside tickets available. Our second ever sponsored put on match by us, Sydney versus Mikey Montgomery, in the IW Guide library. It'll be up on the YouTube not long after it happens. And we will start rolling with matches at that show. I've been in contact with some very big names for the November show.
We're looking at you, John Moxley. We can't wait.
Including a cowboy that doesn't seem to just, he pops up all the time out of nowhere. And somebody whose moniker is The Problem. So we'll see what happens.
Fuck yeah. Nice. Well, all right. You can find me on Twitter at Jgold12. You can please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. And our Twitter handle, IWGuide1, patreon.com/IWGuide. Don't forget about the merch store over at brainbustertees.com. And if you use the code IWGP24 at checkout with Gorilla Press apparel, when you buy 2 or more items, you get $20 off your entire order. So check that out as well. Listen to our podcast friends at Odds with Wrestling. The Card is Going to Change, a super fantastic podcast, Marks with Mikes, and I hope it comes back soon, Hayabusa Speed. The other friends of the show, OKCR Creations, the official graphic designer of the Indie Wrestling Guide. Magnum CKs, now that's what I call wrestling. Time Capsule Toys, Toyhio, Rubber City Toys, Big Starks Band, Women's Wrestling Watch of Northeast Ohio, the aforementioned Gorilla Press Apparel. And if you were at Toyhio and if you come, we've heard some rumors about things, Smoke and Jay's Barbecue, the best barbecue in Ohio. I hope you all can try that. That's what I got.
Watch some indie wrestling. We'll be back next week. Don't know what we're doing yet. Maybe it'll be an interview. Maybe it'll be another review. Who the fuck knows?
of
come
your
find
business.
out with everybody else. Yeah, it's none of your goddamn business. Tune in next week and find out.
Yeah.
We got some things in the
Dweebs.
pipeline if we can get people to agree to them.
Yeah. And we pay their trans.
Yeah.
We pay their trans, and then we give them fucking blow pops. That's what they get.
See you next week.
Later, dweebs.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at the Indie Wrestling Guide. And on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.